Okay, welcome back to another PDNZ upload. Yeah, I just chucked the other one up. What do I call it? Cab fittings, I think it was in the title. I struggle with titles though. I apologise for some of those. I know they're a bit pathetic. Yeah, I just managed to get home last thing today and I've sat down and I see I already got some comments on there. Yeah, I do. I appreciate the comments, and I've said it before and I'll say it again. They're all positive, so it's good. I really enjoy that. And just reference to one person in particular, I see Mike the Truck Nut commented on my video. I didn't think he'd be following me. He's quite a big YouTuber, really. He's got a lot of followers, that man. Go and check his channel out. He's worth watching. He's got quite a few Pete's, and he's doing a Kenworth at the moment. I enjoy watching him. He's, yeah, just makes do with what he's got, and him and his dad work together in the shop. It's really good to see. His dad's really knowledgeable in what he's doing, and yeah, they can work together. So you don't see that very often. So I'll move on with this, and while I'm moving I'll talk at the same time, obviously. I realised my last video, it was quite long. I think it was like 40 minutes or something. I do appreciate it if you watched it to the end, because I'll be honest, when I was editing it, I actually fell asleep in the chair and I had to restart again in the morning. Yeah, big disaster. I just want to show this. So I've managed to get the side panels in on the sleeper, and the black surround, obviously all new screws in there, and got the rear one in. And the other side, I'm just about going to mount the plastic, which I need to go and get my other iPad, because I've unplugged the speaker and there's two plugs the same up there. I don't know which one's which. I'll go and check the wiring diagram and find out which one's the speaker wire. Even the colours don't match on the speaker wire. There's a red and black on there, but there's no red and black on there. I know somebody's watching this and they'll say, oh yeah, no, it's such and such, but they're numbered. So I'll go and I'll just have a quick look. Yeah, I didn't think there's two plugs the same, but there is. Otherwise I would have labelled it. Might be the same on the other side too. And got the roof lining in for the sleeper. It is quite faded, but it is what it is. I've cleaned it all. It actually smells quite nice in here. A lot different than when I got the truck. So I'll get those in, and then obviously I'll, yeah, fight with this up here. I just did not document it when I pulled it to pieces. Got the seat bottom there. I've got the other panels here, the roof ones. And that. I'll just try and turn this camera on and grab a few more shots all the time. Yeah, I don't want to try and do another 40-minute video. That's not good, because I know I don't personally sit and watch real long videos. I just want to watch some content and get it over and done with. So I'll stop waffling and I'll do some work. Okay, I'll just show you what I've done here. This panel goes up in the roof corner of the sleeper. It's got all your controls on there. So my problem was the plastic's all broken. It's had a lot of weight on it with the speaker, and it's been loose and it's been bouncing. So I was thinking, how can I fix that without too much difficulty? That one there is completely gone. So I've got some light material and I've bent it and I've drilled, and I've just made some horseshoes over there. And they're pretty strong. I drilled through from the other side and pushed quite hard on those. Then I put a block of wood under them, but just to be safe. So I put some little, some of these little baby screws. Sorry, it won't focus. In the sides there, into the plastic. So we'll see if that works. I'll take it in the sleeper and I'll show you when it's mounted. You won't see those. Well, you will see them, but they fit. It fits like that there, and it's sitting up in the roof lining. So I'll give you an overview once it's in, and I'll let you know. And it's in. My brackets up there, you can hardly tell what I've done. I was happy with that. I figured the wiring out. It's pretty obvious once you start plugging things in. For the speaker, I think. The numbers added up for the work light up there as well. That was all good. So bring you around this side. Just turn my light around. And I've got that one in up there. Got it all plugged in. I'll work on the lights later on. If they don't go, I'll just pop the light out and work on that. We need power in the cab. And got the bottom one in here. Found all the mounting hardware and got that screwed in. I'll measure up for the mattress now. There's a local shop in town here. That's where I've obtained a lot of my hardware from regarding rubber and all that. I've talked about the grommets, the foam and rubber shop. It's quite good, and they got mattresses too. I think got one the right size. So I'm just pointing at this here. This is never lined up. They've stretched the holes in the cab lining to make that work. I don't really know why or how. It's hard up against the door here where it's meant to be. So I don't know how that's come about. So I've just found some nice hardware to go on there, and I found the correct screws to go in there. So I've just painted them. They're out drying now, and I'll fix that. But I see I've got to take this back out. There's one down in there I've missed, and I want to get that in. It's only a couple of screws, and I'll take that back out, just move it a bit. So yeah, we're getting ready, just about ready for a sleepover. We're right this time of the year. Yeah, next thing, obviously, roof up here. It's going to be a bit of a mission because I just don't remember what I did, but I'll start on that side up there and get some lining in. Should all just come together, I hope. Got lots of wires hanging in up here. They should have a home when I put the other unit in. Should just plug in. Get that done up there. I can guarantee something won't work, but at least I know where it is, how to get to it. And it's not all rusted up. None of the screws are full of rust and all that. It's all new stuff or good second-hand stuff I'm putting back in. It's all clean. And I even chuck a little bit of, had this in the shop for years, some product, but it's a white grease. It doesn't make a mess everywhere. Just chuck a little dab of that on things, screw them in. Always been like that. Alright, I'll show you once I get those other screws in. Okay, camera time. So I've got the screws painted and fitted in here. They come up alright. And I have been busy. I've got all that in. Yeah, that's still hanging down up there at the moment. I'm just working on that. I see I've pulled a screw out of there. I'll have to fix that. Yeah, I've just got all that sitting there, trying to work out where things go. I should have filmed it, but I didn't. I've got the visors in. They were broken. One of the ends was broken off, threaded, which goes up through with a nut on the inside there. So yeah, I've machined all that and welded another piece on there and got all that to work. So they were in, so they're holding the front visor piece, or lining, sorry, up here for me until I get this center, call it center console, roof console piece. So I got the driver's side for us, got that fitted up in there as well. Bit of a mission, but yeah, I got there. It's been hard trying to hold it up and line things up without damaging stuff. One little issue I'm having, I shall do a bit of investigating online. I bought a new AM/FM antenna, mounted it on the mirror as I showed, but my cable is, I think, might be right, might get it out there. I'll try it. I think I'm pushing it for length. I shall have a look at that. I'll leave that hanging out there. It's designed to go all the way through and obviously come through here, but I might be able to sneak it out there. I don't even know if the radio works. Well, the one which is in it is rubbish. So I'll get another one and throw in there. Obviously I'm not putting a big sound system in it. I'll just listen to the engine. That'll sing to me all day. Listen to the money go up the exhaust pipe. So I just thought I'd show you a little bit of that. Right, here's the upper piece to go in the roof. My next drama or dilemma is where all the screws have been. It's pulled the whole lot of them out. They're all broken. So I had a bit of a head scratch over that one, thinking how can I fix it. I thought about bending a little strap, putting up over here and back down and drilling it and screwing the strap down, and I thought, oh, got my guillotine down the other end. I had some nice extrusion or some material off something. It's all the wrong width, but I guillotined it, and I've already gone and marked it. I've painted it, and that goes up under there. And I put it in the right way, and I drilled it. So my screws will just pull up against that, and that's actually in the front of the cab. Doesn't matter if you see it, because yeah, it looks alright when you look from underneath. So that's my way of holding all that up successfully without it jiggling and breaking and falling down. So I had to cut some angle ones for up over here. So they're in the cab sitting there ready. I don't want to damage that. The next thing I had to do is, when I took all this down with those screws being broken, I did a couple of corner ones when I was trying to demount this, and the whole lot come crashing down in a big hurry, and I never really figured out how things went. So this plate here fell out. It didn't have all the correct screws in it. So I figured out where it sits and what holes are going to get used when we remount it. That'll sit over there. So yeah, these couple of holes here get used. Well, I figured out which ones, and which ones don't hold the plate up on the roof. So what I've done is, while that's all sitting there, I've got to be careful this will fall down. I've gone around and I've circled everything under there. So I'll screw the plate up into the roof now, so when I lift this other black piece up, I know what I'm screwing through and all that. So that's my big plan of attack there. I think I have to grab one of the boys to help me when I lift this, because we'll need to plug all the wiring in and then try and lift it and screw it. I don't want to hang it off the wiring loom too much. Plugs are all there. Just looking at that radio antenna wire, I don't think it's going to work. It's going to come across about here and no good. It's got to come to the center and come in the back here. I'll just have a quick look online. I'm pretty sure you can buy a an extension for all that. That's not a big drama. I just thought I'll show you that, and I'll give you an update when it's in, whether it's going to stay in or fall down and crash. Who knows? I should film a bit more, I know, as I'm doing things. I just don't want it to be painful for you to sit there and watch 40 minutes of me trying to lift something in and line screw holes up and that. I'd just rather show you a bit of progress and as we move along. I mean, what I'm doing isn't technical stuff. It's just figuring out the correct hardware and what screws they've used, and fine thread, coarse thread, and they've used, we'll call them PK screws. Use that type of fastener up in there as well. Some holes accept those, some don't. Some go for a fine thread, which they're not metric, obviously. I don't have any in front of me here. It's just my assortment of, oh sorry, I do. They've used that there. So some of the dashes mounted with that and some isn't. So I've just persevere and figure all that out. A quick flick on, show you what we've done. My boy just helped me lift this up in here. Bit of a struggle. We've still got a lot of holes to line up. But yeah, held up with a bit of wood. Hardest thing's getting the wiring harness on and then lifting it without pulling it all. I'll give you an update once I've got it finished. Okay, turn it on time. We got that up there. So we managed to get all the screws in. Bit of a mission, different threads. Found something that fitted. Got all the little light covers on. The radio is work in progress, so I'll take that all out and work on that later. Obtained a mattress. So I got that in there tonight. It is actually covered, and I just had a single sheet. I just stretched over it, an old one to put on it. So yeah, I can keep the dirt and dust out of it. Pretty happy with it. And yes, I've tried it out, laid in there, perfect.
We'll go around the other side and we'll have a quick look.
Yeah. So this side here, I made all those shiny brackets up there, strips of steel, aluminium. Drilled those because all that, as I said, the holes were missing in those retainers up there. And same along the front, made one along there. This should hold it all up there when it's bouncing down the road. The other thing I've done is put the edging on this side. So I've got no reason to lift the floor mat on this side, I hope. Just gonna work on putting the seats in. That's my next step, so I don't think I need to be in and out of the cab for much else. So, talking about seats. When I took the driver's seat out, it's got this fiberglass dish in here, because I think when this truck was obviously back home in the States, the passenger seat's got a compartment under it, and this probably had a plate in it, and the compartment maybe went into here. I'm not sure, never seen one. So for that to be fixed here, they've made this up and put this in. Maybe it's a standard thing, I don't know, I doubt it. Maybe it does belong there, and this dish was under the passenger seats, part of the toolbox. Wouldn't know. Right, when I took it out, it was broken around the edges here, and my little brain never registered why it was all broken. But I've sort of, because I put the same sort of floor mat back in it, it come out within reason. And when I look down in here, I don't think the camera won't pick it up, there's a well, I'll show you the thickness of that nut between the bottom of this and where it sits down in there. It is touching at the back here, but it's still not touching down in the bottom there. So that seat was bolted in, and that was stretching that like mad. I'm amazed that it even stayed tight. So that's why it busted all that. So my fix is going to be to, as a try, put these nuts down in there, those spaces, which we can do right now. I'm just going to check which holes are which. Multiple holes been drilled in the floor here. See why guys don't do a lot of YouTubing while they're working. I'm trying to hold the camera and do it. Must be that hole there. The other one's blocked. We'll try those ones to see if this makes a difference. Try and sit that in there one-handed. You can see the nuts in there. Solid as. We're a little bit fat. We're a bit fat. Now we'll go for something a bit thinner. Yeah, see the big gap in there. Something half the thickness. It's going to work though. Put some spaces in there. Even we're going to machine some up in the lathe. Alright, I'll go for a walk and see what I can find. Next step at fitting the seats, sorry about the lighting, that's not very good, is these belts here that bolt to the seats. So when you break the sound barrier, hit the picks, you're not going to go through the front. The only sound barrier you break will be the engine over revving, I'd say. But anyway, that's another story. Yeah, so I just found the hardware. These, I might be able to show you. There's one to go on this other belt yet, on the main belt. I'll obviously get all this right. It's going to be checked when it goes for inspection. So yeah, these here open. You open them up. Can't do it one-handed. That might work. Yeah, you open those and they go through eyelets down in the floor here, and they bolted through the floor. And then you either use a cotter pin or I'm just using a little bolt, and you bolt these together. There's holes drilled through them. Yeah, one-handed stuff just doesn't work. Yeah, there's a hole through there, and you bolt them together obviously to stop them coming apart.
I'm trying to do at the moment. So I'll try and get those fitted with no twists, especially the main belt. And then I figured out for the seat base, probably a bit wrong, we're going to use these galvanized washers. They sit in there and they're absolutely perfect just for the base to sit on, and it's not getting stretched on the edge here. It won't go anywhere. Good bolts through there. Bolt it down. But that's my plan. Alright, I'll try and sort this belt out, and the next clip you get might be the seat in. Some video evidence. They are 3/8 National Fine cat bolts, and I've double nutted them for holding the seat in. Obviously at the back here as well, which you probably won't be able to get. Where are we? Oh, way over there. Up there. Another one there. I realise you probably better put a nylon nut on there, but double nutting is equivalent for me. They're not going to go anywhere. I think the cab will probably come off the frame before the seat falls out. So that'll be a bigger problem. Right, I'll try and get up. Yeah. A long way to the ground. So, one seat. Yeah, I've talked about it before. I never got the seats reupholstered. That's not an issue. It's just something we'll pull out later and just niggle away at those little things. I need a lot of dust stuck to the paintwork. Try and polish that off. Never was very flash. I mean, this seat base is really rough. Probably could have body worked it and all that, but then I was frightened it was going to be under pressure and crack. So it's what it is. It's been, as I say, I don't know if that's been made to go in here or whether it is under a seat in another truck, passenger side in America. I don't know. I just haven't looked that much for them. So this edging will get fixed obviously when I put my chrome trim on there. I'll re-trim the mat. That's what I thought it might do, just pull to the edge a bit. Just a bit of trimming to do on here. I did over cut it all when I put it in, knowing I'd trim the fit later. I got to leave this loose so I can lift to get the brake valve, because I just took the valve out and the pedal's just sitting there. And I left all the lines hooked up to the valve and took the cab off. So I need to lift that to get to the bolts, so that edging won't go in. But I can plumb the seat. We have an air line here, and there's another air line on the back of the seat. So I'll muck around and plumb that. Might put some air in it first. It's been nearly coming up a year that I got this truck, so it was a month before I pulled it to pieces probably. So we'll chuck a number 8 months, and the seat held air until my boy sat on it one day and pulled the button. There, it's still got air in it in the back, so it never, pretty impressed. Right, I'll air the seat up, get it away from rubbing on there, which is what it's always done. There's not a lot I can do about that. There's no way I could shift that over on there. We'll air it up and have it sit in it, minus the steering wheel. We'll see what it does. Well, seat number 2 is fitted. Been a bit of a mission getting that one in. Had to get in the toolbox area there and try and align the holes and different length bolts and all that. But I got there. And the other thing I've done is put the seat belts in. Got all the bracketry in up there. Got the twists out of the belt. Got it all fitted to the seat. The light's not working too good here. Something which there is there's a safety retainer here for the belt down to the bottom of the cab. There's clips go down in here. There's hooks behind the seat. It's one each side of the seat. So they've got a safety screw through them so they can't open. So I've got all those in. Seat belts are working. Oh, lights not going to stand up, so yeah, so we're getting there. Obviously did the driver's side over there. All that took a lot of time. Pretty painful stuff. and put the paper holder, what do you want to call it, document holder. I put it on this door here because, as you can see in the light here, this is originally yeah, it's not made right, so I've just put that on there for now. The day will come when I might redo all this upholstery, but as we've talked about, stepping stone, just going to get the truck back together, that type of thing. It's, yeah, not hard to pull a door panel off, or 2 panels, and get something done later. To show you what I'm doing up here, so I just sort of muck around and put the badges on the side of the cab. So I'll cut my rubber strips to go behind them, but these have had these little tin retainers on there, and it's just like a real horrible thread on the muck metal there, and they just thread on, and I don't trust any of that. So I've managed to do one already, so I've threaded that, and I've gone metric, so I'm just still threading that one. I just don't want to snap them off, I'm just going careful. I've got a selection of those nice nuts in here. I'll stick those on, and I'll use the rubber that I've used behind all the handles, this 1.5mm thick rubber, and I'll cut that out to the shape, obviously a full sheet piece behind that, so I don't mark the paintwork. It's got something to sit against. So I'll get on with that, and then I'll show you what it looks like on the truck. Right, got the badges put on, threaded, nutted on the back, all done up tight, and I cut the rubber to go in behind them so they're not touching on the paint. So that's a success. The next thing I've moved on to is the indicators, flashes, blinkers, call them all sorts of things. I call them a disaster at the moment. So this one here, I got into it. I managed to get the bulb out. It seized itself in there. I've just written the numbers down off it. I've changed the bulbs over to LED ones if I can. I've had the other light to pieces and cleaned that up internally, so that there can go back on, because they're a marker light slash indicator flasher light too. They're double filament bulb. So that I'll just get them back on the truck, and I can get them to pieces again easily. So that's what I'm working on at the moment. Indicator lights, flasher lights, blinkers, all sorts of things we called them before. Yep, got them mounted. I actually ended up painting them, so yeah, disassembled again, masked the outer piece, and that got done. Roughed them up with a Scotch-Brite and satin black. So both of those are fitted. That one's wired. The other one, I've put it on. A little bit of tape just marks the top. I know which way the bulb's sitting in there on an angle. Don't know if it's right or not. Poke the wires through, but it doesn't really make sense what's underneath. So I haven't demasked that yet. I need to get that off there. Need to turn those other lights off. This camera just doesn't like that. Yeah, job done. I'll figure it out once I get the cab on. The wire could be laying up in the floor. I might have poked it up through there to get it out of the way. It's one of those things, I'll start plugging wires in, and when there's some left over, I'll know which one it is. So the next little thing, I was just mucking around with the frame, and I don't know, I walked past, I was playing with the fuel tanks, and this one here, the lid, it would never stay shut, just snapped straight up, and it would just not lock. So I've disassembled the whole thing. Bit of trickery here, I've ended up putting 2 O-rings on the shaft, which it's not really the right thing to do, but only just sit a little bit. And I put it all back together and it still didn't work. So I was really looking at it, and they've got a special washer on the top here, but when you run your hands over it, I can feel it's all dished, and it's done a lot of work. So I don't know if, so I figured out that you can flip that over, that'll go in that way, so we've got a new side. Then the other thing I did was just put this in the vise. I just draw filed the surface that locks down on there. It was a bit rounded. We'll see if that does anything. So I'll try and put this back together, and just let me say it's a mission, because it's spring loaded, this thing. Try and get that down in there. Whether that's gonna sit there. Before I could adjust the cap to lock onto the tank, but it just, you only give it a bang like that and just flicks straight up. I just couldn't get it to work no matter what it did. So we'll see if we made any difference. I'll put it together and I'll show you. Right, managed to just reassemble. Didn't film it obviously. You got to get that end piece on there. It's got a big spring inside it. Get the nut on there. So without putting the cap on the tank, I've tensioned it up. It takes a little bit to lift it, not a lot. It pops up. But before you couldn't even, it's sitting down there now. So we've done an improvement. I'm going to put it on the tank, and I'll adjust it to lock into the tank. I made those retainers. They made out of welding wire, those. Pretty high tech. I'll try and sit you somewhere. Not sure how this works. Don't want to tip the camera over, because I'll put you over here. Ugh. Gotta be careful where I put it. It pulls the paint off everywhere when we sorry, I'm just trying to line you up. I'll drop this in here. Try not to drop the spanner in the tank. Let's see if we can probably put it together wrong. Goes on there. Right, that needs to stink. Probably doing the wrong thing here. I don't really know. Oh yeah. Woo! Perfect. Snaps over center and it stays on there. Doesn't lift. Wow, pleased with that. One thing right for the day. The one on the other side is different. I think it's an aftermarket cap. This one's got Peterbilt still on the flapper here. The other one's got a plastic backing on it. One should probably get 2 new ones. We're on a budget. We had a bit of an ad up the other day. We're sitting there, I was having lunch with the good partner, and we're talking about other financial things with what we're doing, and she brought the subject up of, as we call it, Miss Pete, or slash the Bumblebee truck. And she's like, well, what have you spent on that? Well, I got a bit of a running tally in my head. I don't exactly keep detailed records. And yeah, well, she's running a spreadsheet on the computer, obviously. And she just brought it up straight away. She's, oh, yeah, up to such and such. And I was like, oh, yep, it's all good. At least it'll be useful afterwards. So that was the end of that conversation. But it's a truck. It eats money. What was I going to do? Oh, I was going to cut the protectors. Put that spanner away. I'm pleased to fix that. It's one of those things you sort of don't know if you're going to improve it or make it worse. So my next thing I'm going to do is, one of these here was on the sleeper door, which is of no use. It's the wrong type of rubber. I'm going to see if I can put that on. Might be the wrong size actually. Might be able to close it up. On these here, down in here. Even that I got some new stuff, I'll use the new stuff up first, and if I don't have enough, I got a little bit left over, obviously. So I'll start and try and put those on. Right, I'm going to try and document this. I think it's worth doing. I've got to the point with the cab now that it's
there's not much more I can do on it while it's sitting on the ground like this. I'm going to try and edit this video and I'll get it out, so it'll be the weekend. I know it's been 2 weeks since I've done an upload, but I apologise, I haven't done much on it. It's not worth putting a poor content video out. I'll try and get enough on there to make something up. So tomorrow is meant to be a nice day here, even though it is right now in the evening. It's nice and calm, and tomorrow is forecast to be a really nice day as well. I don't think there's meant to be any wind. So I'm planning to do a lift. I'll lift the cab and chuck it back on the frame, and at least I can work on it then and get some air lines and electrical hooked up and start and diagnose a few wiring issues that I've talked about. So I'm just going to show you out here what I'm going to do. Last time, if you follow me from the very beginning, you'll see I'll put some timber through the cab and use it as a spreader and all that. So I'll show that again, what I do. But last time I slung straight from the hook on the boom of the forklift, but there's too much wide pull out the side and it's hard on the roof of the cab. So this time I remembered I had a spreader bar laying in one of my other shops here. So I'll take you out and show you what my thoughts are with this. Here's the spreader bar sitting down here. It's obviously got a lot of ropes and stuff on it, which I'll probably just tie up because I won't be using any of those. I'll just take my straps up to the ends here. I'll figure out what I'm going to do there. I'll just put something short and come off the centre, or I just go from that side and the opposite on the other side, which will balance the beam out. But I was wondering how I was going to fit it to my boom here. Initially thought I was just going to sit it over the top and maybe just tack weld it on or tie it on to stop it rocking or tipping over. But yeah, went and picked it out of the shed and I didn't realise had that on top with all the series of holes for obviously changing the position for the ropes. So not worried about pin size, but I'll take this out of here and I'll just drop this down over it and just put a pin through there. We're not dealing with a lot of weight, and that'll work really good. Last time height was a little bit of an issue for me with me slinging straight off the hook as well. We had to readjust what we were doing. So this will hopefully spread those slings and stop us crushing the side of the cab. Right, I'll get this hook off and I'll rig this up. Burn the hemp in the rope. Try not to. Move that up. She's really stuck. I'll get this one off. I'll let the forklift down a bit too high. Right, I finally got it to move. A lot of heat. I ended up putting some oil on it. The oil is burnt into it. Get it to just move. Nothing a 24-inch crescent and a 100 pipe doesn't fix. Should be totally usable again, this shackle. Bar friendly. Won't be finger friendly. Should be toasty. It's only a little torch that I've got, something I bought off eBay, bit of stuff from China, but it works because I don't own a gas set in the shop here. Our rental for bottles and all that's just crazy here now. For the unless you're using it full time, it's not worth owning. So I just use that for heating things up, and then obviously got the plasma cutter for cutting. So I sort of cover all bases with that. Put that over there so I don't stand on it. Melt my shoes. Got my safety shoes on today. Got my farming sneakers on. Right, we'll have a go at these other ones. Well, that one's loose. Well, that was a mission and a half, that one. Wish they were all like that. Maybe that one saw the heat and thought, no, I don't want that. And that one's off too. I think this is going to be quite a good idea. I might be able to put those on there and put a shackle through them and just bring the two together, and that'll centralise the lifting point for me. That one's loose as well. I don't really remember where I got this from now. I think my mate gave it to me. You'll know who it is. Pretty sure that's where it comes from. I think he had it and he said I had no use for it. Could be wrong. Been in the shed for a while now. Right, I'll put all this back together when I'm finished, because I obviously don't want to lose these little strops. I'll reassemble it so they're all lubed up, so it's good for next time. Alright, I'll figure out the shackle scenario here and I'll bring you back. Okay, to show you the setup we've got, I've just got Kyle to help me. We fed the straps, they're just hanging there, so they'll go up and they'll lift and they'll be on the inside of the handles. I'll put some stuff under those to protect the roof of the cab, and that's just ratcheted up to hold it up. Borrowed mother's bar stool, which she didn't know about, inside the cab. We sat it on that because it's quite heavy. It's been sitting outside this wood. It's soaked a bit of water up, hadn't got any lighter. And yeah, I put those 2-inch pieces on the edge, obviously to help the door frame and also to give me clearance in the middle there. There's probably better ways of lifting the cab, but that's what I come up with when we took it off, and it worked. So we'll just run with the same again to put it back on. The only thing I might have to do is we'll just take the weight and we'll see how it hangs. Might just have to shift these boards along a little bit in the doorway. I think this one's got to go forward, but I'm only guessing that. As I say, we'll take the weight, and if it's not right, we'll just do an adjustment on the lift. So that's where we're at. So with that, I'll end the video here, and obviously you're going to have to tune in for the next one to see what happens. You're going to have to sit and wait a week. It's going to be painful, I know, but if there's a big disaster, I'll make a decision whether I upload straight away or not to show you what happened, but it should be right.
We need a GoFundMe account.
Yeah, Kyle just said we get a GoFundMe page. You can help me rebuild the cab when I drop it. But we'll think positive, we'll get it on, and it'll make a big difference. So with that, I'd like to say thanks for following me, and I see I've got a lot more subscribers now lately. It's jumped up quite a few in that side of it, and my views is right up. But yeah, thanks for all the new subscribers, and I hope you enjoy it. Thank you.